Alright guys, welcome back to another video. It's your man Jay Will. So this is my checklist for ZTE, and I hope they're watching because they released the Axon 9 Pro and it's not officially coming to the US. And you know, a lot of people are disappointed about that. But I still have faith in ZTE, and I know that they can bring something nice for the US. So I made a checklist of some things that I really think they should consider doing if in fact win and they do bring a device to the US again. They gotta come with the thunder. And what's working for you, you should continue to do it. So let's get into my video and my checklist for ZTE, the next device. Alright, so here we go. First things first, speaker grills. They have to put the speaker grills on here like they did with the Axon 7. Now at this point, I'm not looking for an Axon 7 replacement. That's not what this video is about. This is about what they could possibly do in order to maintain some level of impact in the current market, to let themselves stand apart from everyone else. No one else is doing this anymore. They've got the earpiece and the bottom firing speaker. ZTE, trust me when I tell you, if you were to employ the same design as the Axon 7 with the speaker grills on the top and bottom, you would win a lot of people over. Axon 7 owners love this setup. I mean, it's beautiful. The phone won't be too big, and you can still have those speaker grills up there. You can change the way it looks, but just give the actual front-facing speaker grills on the device and you will win a lot of people over. Speakers. Now let's move on to screen. Now we both know that Samsung makes some of the best screens ever and the biggest screens on phones. But they're not the only ones that know how to make, that can give us a good package on a device. I really like the HTC U12 setup. It's very thin bezels top and bottom, and just that squared, narrow, I really like that. So what I would like to see, my dual speakers, along with at least a 6-inch display. 6 inches to 6.3 is totally possible, and it probably still won't be bigger than or taller than a lot of other phones out there. Fit the right screen in there and make it OLED. Make it OLED, please. And you will win, again, you'll win a lot of people over. This is important. The screen is what people look at. So Quad HD, obviously. No 1080p. Come all the way. Come correct. Just go ahead and do it all the way. Even if we won't be able to see the difference. Who cares? Bring that Quad HD, at least 6-inch display with those dual front firing speakers. People are gonna love you. Quad HD display. 6 inches to 6.3. Battery. This is where you guys can easily shine because this phone isn't the world's thinnest phone, but it still has a nice sized battery in there. So you can easily fit at least a 4,000 milliamp hour battery in your new device that's coming to the US. I'm speaking with so much confidence like it's really coming. Hey, this is just my checklist, all right? But I'm telling you, do at least 4,000 milliamps and you will be fine. That's a straight, no long discussion about that. Give it at least 4,000 milliamps and everyone's gonna love you. Now, internals. Let's just say you release this device in December of this year. That'll give you a chance to put in the Snapdragon 845 and at least 6 gigs of RAM. At least. Give it the Snapdragon 845 and at least 6 gigs of RAM and you will be fine. That is a cut and dry, don't do anything less. Now the design and the body. Now earlier I said I wanted you to stick to this type of design with the speaker grills up top. Well, you definitely can do that. But this is actually a beautiful design. So if in fact you employed some kind of design that's similar to this, I wouldn't be mad at you. I don't think anybody would be mad at you. This is a great looking phone still. Just beautiful. I love it. People love this design. And it stood out when you first did it. So employing this type of design, it would work for you. No glass back. No glass back. Somehow that has become the norm and some people think that's premium. I don't think it's premium. Aluminum body and you will win people over, trust me. 6 to 6.3 inch with an aluminum body, you can do it. The body has to be similar to this. Another important factor is that people want it. Is on-screen buttons. I say that because people always ask about this particular Axon 7 and how it has on-screen buttons. I've said it a gazillion times, but I guess people just never catch it. developer edition. This is not one that you can purchase. On-screen buttons were removed at the last moment by ZTE because I guess they felt like we better go with the hard buttons, the capacitive buttons. I don't know why. But what I will tell you is people want the on-screen buttons. And if you give a really big screen, you got to do on-screen buttons. And with that on-screen buttons, software. Stock Android is the way to go. There is no ifs, ands, or buts. I'm currently running Nova Launcher on mine. Not for any particular reason at all. I just always ran Nova Launcher on here. The software on the stock version is good, but it's definitely not as fast as what the phone feels with Nova Launcher on there. But trust me, ZTE, stock Android. Stock Android Pie. Not just 8.1. It's Pie. No reason to. Drop this phone in by December, Pie better be on the phone. So with all that, you know, you got to have a headphone jack, you got to have Type-C, you got to have a quick charge 3.0, not 2.0. You got to have these things. You got to have an SD card. You don't have to have an SD card, but I would love to see, along with that 6 gigs of RAM and that Snapdragon 845, at least 128 gig model. It's totally possible. 128, 256, and 512. Boom. Those are your internal memory options. Even if you didn't want to do an SD card, which I know you will, 128, 256, 512. Shut it down. Alright guys, so there is my checklist for the next ZTE phone. Give me a comment down below. And does yours match pretty much the same as mine? Or is it close? Or what else would you like to see in your phone, your next ZTE phone? Or, you know, that's not the same as mine. So you let me know in the comments. That was just a rough draft of my next ZTE phone. I'm really hoping that they bring some killer stuff. I'm over the Axon 9 Pro. It's not coming over here. I'm not even gonna try to import it at all because it won't even work on LTE over here. So my loss. Well, really their loss. But I want ZTE to bring it, man. I want them to have that comeback that they deserve. That bang 'em up device is so unrealistic because this phone was just out of this world when it dropped for 400 bucks. People still crapped all over it. That's just how it is. When you got something good and it intimidates the market, people shun away from it sometimes and they run to what's safe. We all know what those companies' names are, so I'm not gonna say it, but you can say it in the comments. It's your man Jay Will. It's time for change. ZTE, I'm looking for you to bring it. Let's go.